So, Joelinton seems to have gone missing. So does Steve Bruce. We get hammered by Middlesbrough. It's not exactly a great time at the minute. Let's discuss. Hi everyone, I'm Paul. Welcome back to the Toon Review. So since my last video about a week ago, we've had a very entertaining time for all the wrong reasons, I guess, at Newcastle. The first one being the 5-1 debacle in the friendly against Middlesbrough. Now, obviously, you know, friendlies are to build up fitness, etc. But given the players that we had on the pitch that day, and the fact that really we shouldn't be struggling for fitness so soon after the season just ended, to lose 5-1, it's just typical of Newcastle, really. Now, yes, you know, a few years ago we lost 4-0 to Leyton Orient, and that was a kick up the backside that the players needed, and a bit of a reality check, really, as to where the team was. Now, if this is a reality check to where the team is this season, we're in big trouble. You know, I know it was behind closed doors and it was at a training ground and things like that, so, you know, you can't really take a lot from it. But, you know, the players that we had on the pitch, given that Almiron was playing, St Maximin was playing, etc., and you know, Lascelles obviously sent off at half time for an altercation. It doesn't make great reading, and certainly when I watched the goals, it didn't make good watching. I mean, Florian Lejeune is just he's a shadow of the player he was, and that's probably understandable given the injuries he's had and the time he's had out. But it just goes to show that the squad is just, I don't think, good enough. I mean, I think, you know, I'll come on to the possible signing shortly, but I think if we can bring a few in, maybe just then we can just start maybe thinking about higher up in the league than relegation. I hate being so negative because, you know, as a Newcastle fan, you want the very best for your team, but can we see a way out playing the way we did towards the end of last season and with virtually the same squad that we've got now? It's not good enough. But anyway, you know, we lost that game. But another thing that came out of that was, where is Joelinton? He seems to have vanished. And this is what frustrates me about Newcastle United, is the fact that the club just do not come out and tell the fans what's going on. The gap between the club and the fans has obviously been so big since Ashley's been here. It's just sad, you know, that the club cannot, you know, think of the fans fondly enough to let them know what's going on with the players and where the players are. A lot of people have said, is he in isolation? But he was in Greece, therefore that's not on the quarantine list. I mean, it may be added later on today, I don't know, but it's not on at the minute, and certainly wasn't when he came back. So it can't really be isolation. Has he caught the virus? Has he been told to stay away? You know, that's obviously a possibility. But if that's a possibility, why don't they just come out and say, you know, he's tested positive for COVID. You know, he's quarantining for 2 weeks away from the squad. Simple. At least let the fans know. And then the fact that Steve Bruce goes missing for his media duties. I mean, it's just, what's going on? You know, let the fans know. Tell the fans, you know, what's going on at the club. At the end of the day, we play a big part in that club, you know, with the money we pay and things like that. And just to be kept in the dark, it is like mushrooms, really. And somebody related to that on Twitter the other day. You know, we are mushrooms kept in the dark, and it's disgusting, really. But that's just where the club has gone under Ashley, and we know that, and we accept that now, that, you know, the distance between the fans and the club has just widened and widened over the years, and it's probably at its maximum now. They just don't care about the fans, which is very, very disappointing. So anyway, you know, we don't know what's happening with Joelinton. We still haven't had any word what's happening with him or where he is or what he's doing. But, I mean, do we really need him? Do we really care? I mean, that's the question. I'm hoping that he does perform this season, that we see a different player. I'm not hopeful of it, but, you know, you never know. Now, possible signings, I mean, you know, Ryan Fraser is very, very close, I'm led to believe. Wages seem to be the sticking block with him, which is going to be the case for any player we try and sign in this summer window. You know, a lot of players are on bigger wages these days, and Ashley and Charlie just refuse to go down that route and pay the money. They don't want to pay transfer fees. It's quite clear in that. They'd rather sort of deal in the bargain basement, get loans in or swap deals or whatever it may be to avoid spending money. Again, that's just where the club is at the minute. But Ryan Fraser would be a massive addition to us, because if we can have Fraser on one side and Alain Saint-Maximin on the other, we've got a hell of a, you know, right and left side there who can actually provide service to the striker, which the Joelinton fans of this world have been screaming out for, saying, well, he gets no service. If we could get service from both sides, that will make a massive difference. But again, we don't really want Joelinton there, do we? We want a proper out-and-out striker. Now, the one for me, and I've said all through summer, is Callum Wilson. I want Callum Wilson in. But again, you know, there's newspaper stories saying Bournemouth are wanting 20 million, then some are saying they're wanting 30 million. There is no way we're going to pay that. So obviously Matt Ritchie has now been mentioned in a part exchange deal, with him going back down to Bournemouth, and plus a cash incentive towards Bournemouth as well. So it could end up being Matt Ritchie plus 15 million or something like that. Very, very sad to see Ritchie go, but I think I have mentioned this a few times, and I think he's at the end of his Premier League career, if that makes sense. I think he'd do a cracking job again for Bournemouth in the Championship, but I just think the Premier League pace might be too much for him now. Certainly for an out-and-out winger, which is why really we need to get Ryan Fraser in. For a winger, he's brilliant at crossing the ball. He's had so many assists. He can take players on, and it'll be a bit of excitement for us fans, you know, to watch two wingers who want to actually attack players. You know, not stop, come back, knock the ball back. They want to run at defenders and get a ball in. And we've missed that for so long now, certainly on two wings at once. You know, we've had it in the odd time on the right, we've had it on the left, but never seems to be where we've had two out-and-out wingers for such a long time. So it'll be really good to see that. Now, we have been mentioned with a couple of defenders. Rob Holden, that probably is going to go through this week. He is in discussions with the club. I think a loan fee has been agreed, and it's just waiting on to see whether Rob Holden wants to move. Rob Jones came out last night, and my God, if we're looking at him, then we're going to be in serious trouble. Is he really better than what we already have? No, he's not. Man United want to get rid of him for a reason, because he's surplus to requirements and he's not good enough. It happened with Orbitan. You know, we took Orbitan. You know, Man United got rid of him for a reason, because he wasn't good enough. And Rob Jones has made so many errors. He's just nowhere near what we need. If we're going to be in a relegation battle down at the bottom end of the league this season, is Rob Jones really a defender that we can rely on to get us out of a mess? No, he's just not. And it's criminal, really, that we're looking at him. But again, that's where we are as a club. That's where we have a manager that can only attract a certain talent of player. And unfortunately, the Rob Joneses of this world are exactly the players that Steve Bruce can only attract, which is a shame. It is. But, you know, we are where we are at the minute. So that's it, really. I mean, I just wanted to have a sort of brief video, keep everyone updated on what's going on, or what you think. I'd be interested, so drop your comments down below, because I want to hear from fellow Newcastle fans on what you guys think of a possible Fraser or Wilson coming in, or Holden in defence. You know, we've got there's certainly a lot of rumours going around. The Greek left back, he could be interesting. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, but he could be a welcome addition to left back. Danny Rose, no, not for me, and not for the majority of people that have commented on my Twitter post. So yeah, there's a lot of rumours going around, but again, this always happens in transfer windows with Newcastle United, and it comes down to the crunch, and we don't bring anybody in. So it'll be interesting to see in the next few days. Certainly this week with Rob Holden probably and Ryan Fraser, I think we'll sign eventually. Hopefully they can get the wages sorted out with him. So that's it, really. Newcastle United news is pretty bleak, as it has been for the last few weeks since the takeover failed. But we battle on as Newcastle fans. Just one thing at the end of the video. When you look at my Twitter posts, you know, what I put them on there for is I put them on for discussion and see what people's opinions are. I don't expect a load of abuse back, calling us an F and this and an F and that. I think it happens to a lot of Newcastle YouTubers, and certainly on Twitter as well. So much abuse for no reason at all. You know, if you disagree with someone's opinion, then fine, have a conversation about it, but don't come out with F and this and F and that, because it's ridiculous. You just get blocked and it gets you nowhere. You know, just have an adult conversation. You know, no, not everybody will agree with what I think, and I don't agree with everybody else thinks, but you have a discussion and you agree to disagree at the end of the day. Everybody has an opinion on football. That's the beauty of the game. You know, but just to abuse people for having an opinion is just wrong. But hey ho, that's the world we live in on social media. Sometimes we just have to put up with it, I guess. But just try and have conversations, normal conversations. But anyway, that's the pretty much the end of it now. Again, we'll see what happens in the next few days. If there's any signings or anything, obviously a video will be coming out. But until then, if you're new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button. Subscribers have gone up absolutely fantastically well since I restarted the channel, so thank you very much to everybody that has subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm uploading videos, and do drop the comments down below, because I do read them and I do like to think do like to see everybody else's opinions, because it's as I say, everybody has different ones. So let us know what you think of Wilson, Fraser, possibly Rob Holden, not Rob Jones. Let's not even include him in that. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.
Be strong.